are back. We now turn our attention to our Indonesian community and the Indonesian Diaspora Foundation. Joining me is the Consul General of the Republic of Indonesia in San Francisco, the Honorable Ardi Hermawan. And also with us is Sonita Lontoh, Chair of the Indonesian Diaspora Foundation, the IDF. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
As we were talking about, a little maybe starting from scratch a little bit, so for a lot of people who aren't familiar with the community, but when we hear diaspora, and I've heard this talk about whether that's talking about expatriates, repatriates, what is the definition and how does it fit in terms of how the community got established here?
Sure, definitely. First of all, thanks for having us here.
Sure.
So the definition of diaspora, the way I think about it, well, according to Wikipedia, it actually means the movement, migration, and the dispersion of people from an established homeland. So for example, the United States actually has a very rich, heritage of diaspora, right? Because we or our ancestors, at some point or, another, came from another country. And that's really what makes the fabric of the American experience. So for Indonesia, and many people in the US here may not know, it's actually the fourth largest country in the world, about 250 million people. But as a people, they do not tend to migrate as much. Having said that though, there are estimated about 8 to 10 million Indonesian diaspora around the world, including about maybe 250 to 300,000 here in the United States. And so that's really the context within which the Indonesian Diaspora Foundation was founded. We're a 501c3 organization based here in the US, but we have a global mission, really. So our mission is twofold. The first is to empower the Indonesian diaspora around the world, including here in the United States, so that they can contribute, positively to the new communities that they're in, but also back to Indonesia. And the second is also to spur more global cross-collaborations between the United States and Indonesia, economically, culturally, and socially. So, bottom line is we are founded to kind of introduce more about what Indonesia is, what the community here, especially in the Bay Area, to the more mainstream American community.
That's right, and in fact, I've noticed much more interest in the community, much more awareness of it. But, Consul General, give us an idea here in terms of, describe for us, if you would, the kind of community that's been established here in the Bay Area, especially with such strong roots back to their homeland. What is the community like here, and what is their connection to the homeland?
I see. Thank you, Handa. We have about 9,000 Indonesian communities in Bay Area, and we combine with our diaspora, what Ms. Lontoh, Sonita Lontoh said, that we're going to have about 15,000 of them, those the Indonesian communities and the diaspora, and we do have a lot of cooperations among them, and also we still have a lot of connections with the Indonesians, with the Indonesia as such. We're going, for example, a lot of cultures, a lot of communities, groups here are also having their own groups in the Bay Areas. You know that we are going to have the Indonesian Day in the next 29th of August. That was one of the things that we can perform all cultures, a lot of the traditional dances and a lot of other groups that are not only grouping by the Indonesians, but also supported by the other communities, the American communities. So they were going to be, we have more than about 10 of traditional gamelan groups, not only Bali, but also from Java, from East Java, Central Java, and also from Sumatra. So there are things that make us bond together, not only the Indonesian community, but the Indonesian community with their own communities, like of course, the people of the Bay Area, and also with the communities of diaspora. So there are things that make us bond together.
Real quickly, I noticed you have a very extensive Silicon Valley background. Is the Indonesian community and Silicon Valley quite tied?
You know what, actually, following up to what the Consul just said, the Indonesian community in the Bay Area is actually pretty diverse. So it ranges from professionals, in Silicon Valley mostly, but also students and also just community members, cultural people, homemakers, performers, artistic people. So it's a very diverse community.
Well, thank you very much for being here to tell us about that. And of course, we've been hearing a lot about the events that are promoting the community. And coming up, we're going to show a spotlight on some of those events. First of all, we will be talking about the Nusantara Indonesian Bazaar, April 25th from 3 to 6 p.m. at Memorial Glade at UC Berkeley. And you can get more information there at id-foundation.org/culture 2015. And later this summer, Indonesian Day 2015, Harmony in Diversity, August 29th, all day at Union Square in San Francisco. And coming up, a spotlight on the cultural side of the Indonesian community with a live music and dance performance. That's coming up next.